Sam came home early from work one Friday afternoon to play a prank on his girlfriend. Turns out she was the clown playing the tricks on him.
My name is Sam and I'm 25. I finished my university degree in engineering and got a high-paying job right off the bat as a civil engineer in the city I live. My parents helped me buy a house while I was still at university, and it helped keep my living expenses down while I was studying and gave me a stable place to live. I'm introverted and I like to spend time by myself, but I'm in no way shy or socially awkward. I'm good at talking to people and socializing if I have to, but I'm not a social butterfly. I met Ashley through a girl I dated in my second year at university. This girl and I were doing the same degree, and we only dated for about a month before we decided it would be better to just be friends. It was a mutual decision, and we still hung out together outside of class. She introduced me to her friend Ashley and was actually the one who pushed for us to begin dating. Ashley is 24 and studying to be a nurse. When we met 5 years ago, she had just gotten out of a 3-year relationship with this dweeb that none of her friends really liked. From the start, her friends commented on how she had upgraded when we began dating. I don't want to boast, but I feel like I'm better than her ex in every way. I'm confident in my physicality and willing to open up about my feelings and emotions. I moved Ashley into my house after 2 years together when she first decided to go to university to become a nurse. It just made sense financially and logistically for her to live with me. I lived closer to the university, and public transport was better than where she was living with her parents farther out of the city. The longer Ashley and I spent together, the more we fell for each other. She was gorgeous and had an amazing sense of humor, and I couldn't help but think that this could be the woman I'd marry and start a family with. I didn't realize these were red flags at the time, but when we first met, Ashley didn't have a lock on her phone, but in the last few months, she put a passcode on it, and when I asked her about it, she said it was because one of her friends had their phone stolen. Her friend didn't lock her phone, so the thieves got access to all her apps, including banking and social media. Fair enough. It made perfect sense to be more secure. But she also started carrying her phone around with her always. Never left it lying around the house like she used to, and she bought one of those security screens you stick on it. You know, the kind where you can only see the screen straight on, and if you look at an angle, it goes dark. She also started going out more. The amount of friends' birthday parties she had to attend seemed to become more and more frequent, and she stopped inviting me to come with her. Normally, I don't like going out, but I would go with Ashley every now and then to keep her company and to just get out of the house. She used to always invite me even if I said no, but then she started going by herself and telling me I never really want to go anyway, and it would be boring and I'd hate it. I didn't think too much about it at the time because she was right. The gatherings were boring and I did hate it. When I first started my new job, Ashley and I would text each other every chance we got, just letting each other know how our days were going and sending stupid memes and videos to each other. She started not texting or replying at all for the entire day, even when she was at home and didn't have any plans for that day, which was very unlike her. She was still doing her nursing degree, so I just put it down to her focusing on study. But at the same time, I knew she had her phone with her because that's around the same time she started carrying it with her everywhere. I was at work one day and was trying to print some documents, and the printer ran out of ink. I'd never changed the cartridge before, but how hard could it be, right? Well, I stuffed it up somehow because the cartridge spewed black powder all over me. I didn't have any spare shirts in the office, and my boss laughed and said it looked like I was doing blackface. He said that's a bad look for the company and told me to go home and get cleaned up and just finish the day from my laptop at home. Hell yeah, I'm not going to argue about heading home early. I knew Ashley was at home because she didn't have any classes on Fridays, but I didn't text her to say I was coming back early because I thought it would be funny to walk in the house covered in black ink and see how she reacted. I got home and snuck into the house quietly so I could jump out at her and scare the crap out of her. I walked through the lounge room and could see her through the bedroom door lying on the bed completely naked, which was weird. I thought I had caught her in the middle of an intimate moment with her vibrator, which I thought would be even funnier if I scared her. I jumped into the room yelling, and then we all started screaming. All 3 of us. I say 3 because lying next to her was her skinny-ass, pasty-white ex-boyfriend also naked in my bed. I scared the absolute crap out of the both of them by jumping in the room yelling, covered in black. I would have looked like a nightmare come to life. Her ex desperately dove off the edge of the mattress into the gap between the bed and the wall. Ashley desperately tried to cover herself up with the covers, and I desperately tried to put the pieces together. It wasn't hard. It was plain to see that Ashley was cheating on me with her ex in my bed. It just devolved into chaos from there. Ashley and I were screaming at each other. I was yelling at her ex to get the F out of my house before I beat the shit out of him. He gathered all his clothes and ran out of the room like a little pussy. Ashley and I argued for the next hour. She swung between blaming me for what she did to crying and begging me to forgive her and that she'd made a mistake. I asked her how long it had been going on for, and she said that was the first time. Bullshit. I told her not to lie to me and said she's been acting weird for the last few months. How long has it been going on for? She admitted she has been sleeping with her ex a few times a week for the last few months, and when I asked why, she just cried and said she didn't know why. After that, I gave up trying to get any information out of her. She buried her face in the pillows and refused to look at me. I said I was going to have a shower and she needed to start packing and get out of my house. I had a shower and tried to process everything. When I got out, Ashley was dressed, but she was still on the bed. It took hours of her begging and crying for me to make her realize we were over and she needed to pack her shit and get the hell out. She refused point blank to leave. I ended up packing all her stuff for her and said if she doesn't call her parents to come get her, I would make the call myself and tell them exactly the reason why their daughter was moving back home. She didn't want me to talk to them and eventually called them herself to come get her. I had to physically put the phone in her hand, though, so she would do it. It was exhausting and I didn't want to look at Ashley or see her parents when they turned up, so I called my friend and told him we were going to get a drink. I met up with him, got drunk, told him everything, and passed out on his couch. I came home hungover Saturday afternoon and thankfully she was gone. I checked to see if anything was missing or broken, just in case, but she left all my stuff as it was. She's now staying at her parents' place. I have literally 43 voice messages in my inbox, dozens of emails and texts, but I just don't feel like replying. She's already dead to me, so why should I care about what she has to say? Nothing she says will make up for the betrayal. I've got my house key back from her, but I'll probably end up changing my locks anyways at some point. I've talked to her mom over the phone and explained to her what I walked in on and saw. All she did was apologize over and over again for her daughter's actions and semi-begged me to forgive her. I almost feel disappointed, not that she cheated, but because of who she did it with. I'd always assumed that it was the perfect man who could make a girl like Ashley, in a committed relationship, cheat. A tall-built guy with a ton of muscle and a huge donkey dick. But the reality was far from my expectations. He was short and scrawny with a below-average-sized cock from what I saw before he ran away. It didn't seem as though she was even enjoying herself when I barged in on them. So why did she throw our relationship out the window for something so mediocre? I'm disappointed that she chose this clown to be the one to bring our otherwise wonderful relationship to an end. I would have rather it been some unattainable Greek demigod that I had no chance of ever competing with than a complete loser. At least then there would be something logical in my mind that made sense of her decision. I'm aware that I'm still in my prime and there are plenty of other decent women out there, but I can't seem to muster up the enthusiasm to start over. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for your story, Sam. If you enjoyed this, please hit the like button and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.